Okay, we start recording. Class, do you hear me properly? My test is okay. Okay. So class, just now I accept I get a phone from a case of who is in ICU. What can we do? I mean, in our perspective of religions. Okay, basically now the relative they are hoping that the case who is in ICU should recover. This is their hope. Okay. Well, basically for the relative, if let's say they have a chances to go to ICU, they always hear something which is so not nice and very negative from the doctor and the nurse. The doctor and nurse, we used to say that, oh, he's about to go, oh, you must prepare yourself. The nurse and doctor, we used to mention this in ICU because the doctor and the nurse, they don't want to give you the false hope and hopefully that you have to prepare for it. Because ICU meaning to say that the case is in the brink of death already. So just now I get the phone because the case just yesterday had been unplugged, but now now second intubation again. So basically for the first intubation, the successful for survivor is about 50%. Now second intubation meaning to say that just remain 30% only. It's very low, meaning to say the case maybe cannot go through. But anyway, basically what the family the family want is the survivor of the case. They don't want to hear that, even though it's a truth. Okay, so meaning to say that what doctors say, even though it's a truth, but will cause a drama for the family. So in this case, basically for the Buddhist, if let's say we know that it's about to pass away, maybe we chant Amitabha. If we want somebody to stay, maybe we chant Guan Yin or Medicine Buddha. But for this case, we can't go against their wish, you see. So basically, we try, maybe we ask them to chant the Guan Yin, who is more neutral, and also we transfer the merit that to reduce the suffering. We can't, it's very hard for us to say for being recovered, because second intubation means very hopeless already. But it's quite hard for the family member to accept the fate. So here, what I try to say is maybe ask them to chant the Guan Yin, and we will transfer the merit to reduce the suffering and see how is the chance of it. Okay, if let's say they accept the fact that the case passed away, so one thing we can do is we try to ask them to do the recording, maybe to put in the sound, put besides the ear of the deaf, by hoping that maybe to remind the deaf that to let go. If the deaf see Amitabha come, when he come, just follow. Because if let's say the deaf is not prepared to go and he got so many things I haven't let go, it's quite hard for him to follow Amitabha, even though he see the Amitabha. So that is the case. So this is a few things. But basically, I think maybe it's quite hard for us to have a chance to put the recording inside his ear. Some nurses are willing to do, some they are not unwilling. So what can we do is, during the funeral ceremony, what happened is, basically ICU, the dead from the ICU, they were just covered with 2 layers. And as a relative, we don't have any opportunity to bath for him and to change the clothes. No, we don't have opportunity. They will immediately put inside to the coffin, okay, and then just burn it or bury it according to your baggage. So now, the funeral ceremony will be getting cheaper because many procedures have been skipped. And you cannot conduct all the procedure. So you just buy the coffin and they put inside it and just burn it. And then they will collect the ashes and put inside to the coffee tap. So they will just put it there, the ashes there. And you can only pray just after the MCO. We don't know how long you have to wait. So it's quite sad for this moment. The thing happened in this way. So first of all, number one, please make sure you write down your view. Yeah, anyone who get affected, if you are, sorry to say that you have been admitted to the ICU, the chance to go is very high. Is there anyone have written your view? Can you put up your hand? your view. Okay, Yokwa, Sally, and I. So the rest maybe you have to prepare a little bit so that if the accident comes, you are ready to go easily because you have written your view already. It's number one. Second, always ask yourself, are you ready to go? Let's say the last moment appeared. So make sure you can let go. Just say sorry once there's an opportunity. Just say thank you. One day is a chance for you. Now the things that anicca, it seems quite frequent. It happens very close to us. We will really hardly predict. Even a second vaccination, even today, they got one case just after the vaccination, but also die, and they suspect that the contraction of the virus is in the vaccination center because they stay 3 hours in the vaccination center. Maybe they're careless, so they got infected even though after the first dose of the vaccination. So be careful once we reach the vaccination center. So that's the second thing. So this is about what Buddhism we can do for the case. Sorry, I had to excuse myself a moment. I want to talk something very well. Basically, the senior within the family and the close or next of kin of the family will do. Whatever you say, the dead once they listen, they will let go. They will let go, and then they can reincarnate easily. Compare without people being lectured. Okay, so this is a few things. Okay, any question regarding this? Okay. So you get an idea if it happens, the people around you, you can ask me for advice if you really need it. Okay, so second, now we go back to our class. So class, in the 5 vehicle, okay, in the very beginning, we define the meaning of the Buddhist, meaning to say the real Buddhist, besides taking the refuge, after the procedure, you have to be with the proper living, the right job. You must get the right job. And after once you get the right job, there must be 4 right views. You must believe that there is reincarnation, and there is a good and bad deeds, and there's a karma retribution. And finally, you have to believe that there's the difference between the sage and the mundane people, like you and I. Okay. So after you knowing by owing this, we go through the 5 realms. The 5 realms meaning to say is the heaven, the divine, the human, okay, and the asuras, and then it's the animals, hungry ghosts, and also the hell. Basically, we call it as a good realm. Wholesome realm is the human and the divine, and the rest is considered as unwholesome realm. Okay, all right. First of all, after we know about this 5 realm, so now by knowing the 5 realm, we need to say it is how to remind us to be vigorous. Okay, so what to do in the 5 vehicle, they got 3 meritorious deeds. Number 1 is the dana. Number 2 is the samadhi. Number 2 is the precept. The 3rd one is the samadhi. So now we go to the number 1st is the dana. Okay, so now I think what we learned is quite recently. Class, do you remember that in the previous lesson we mentioned that human is the best realm to do the cultivation? This is true. You see now everywhere. People start to raise up the white flag, or we got a red flag campaign, so that we are going to help the people who is really need. Class, basically it would happen in the divine, because in divine everybody is wealth, everybody is enough with everything. So we do have opportunity if we have become the divine. And of course, if we reborn in the hell, hungry ghosts and animal, we ourselves in suffering. So there's no opportunity for us to help. But here, yes, we got, you see, now everybody, we are learning the dharma, meaning to say that we are not that bad. If we are bad, maybe we are driving the Grab car already now. We are listening to dharma, meaning to say we have extra, we have merit. So please take the opportunity to do see you can help in what aspect. So this is the real and good time or opportunity for as a human to create the merit. Okay, so that is something you can do. Okay, now we go to the details. How to decide the merit of the giving. Yes, it depends. It really depending on the factors. So let's take a look, class. So in the previous lesson, Yeah. So class, take a look. We're in the verse number 46. It is correct. Let's see. Page 104. Yes, okay. So in the previous lesson, so we are in the verse number 45. Human depends on the basic necessity of life to obtain the happiness, but these necessities are derived from previous charity. Thus, for sentient being, the Buddha always praises first the good fortune of giving. So meaning to say that in the previous lesson, we mentioned that now what we have, the food, the clothing, the medicine, the transportation, the accommodation we have now, partial is due to the present life effort, but also partial also due to the past life, the past life giving. So class, let's take a look. We have finished some facts regards this. So basically, Shakyamuni will encourage people to the giving in the first place. And then let's take a look. You see, if let's say we just pour up and we don't use it, it will mean nothing when we die. This is it mentioned about our wealth. So the basic happiness, okay, the material is still very important for the people. So giving is like sowing the grain in the field, which can yield from 10 to 100 times as much in return. Okay, always although present effort is necessary to gather, develop and manufacture things, but it's not for the past karma of giving, this material resource will not exist. Okay, so we need to say the class now, if you took the opportunity to do the dana and giving now, in the future life you're getting more and more. So that is the meaning, especially now people, they are really in the desperate need. Once we give people in the desperate need, the merit will be greater. If compare, if the need is not in the desperate, so they still got merit, but not that strong because he is not in the desperate need. We must give something to the person who really need. Compare with give somebody. I mean, if you give things that the people not really need, of course the impact is not strong. Okay, so next paragraph. Yokwah, can you please read it out? So material necessity.
So material necessity are required for human happiness. Desire for them is fundamental and normal.
Yokwah, can you please read it out? Yokwah.
These necessities of life are dependent on the fortune karma of giving. So when the Buddha faced
your mic test field, Yokwah. Okay, SJ, can you please read it out? SJ.
So material necessities are required for human happiness. Desire for them is fundamental and normal. These necessities of life are dependent on the fortunate karma of giving. So when the Buddha preaches the Dharma, he urged people to accumulate merit through giving. By doing so, they would avoid future poverty and the hardships that affect one's economic state and one's practice of the Buddha Dharma. Praising giving first, the Tathagata clearly saw that the enjoyment of material things is the foundation upon which to establish happiness in the human world, as well as in the world transcending holy Dharma. If people are so poor that they have nothing to live on, then happiness in the world and the practice of the world transcending Dharma will have no basis on which to begin. One should give willingly and in ways that are beneficial to others, having compassion or respect in different circumstances. There are differences in attitudes, in the fields of good fortune and in the substance given. And accordingly, there are differences in the levels of merit. In giving, there are two main requirements, being willing and being beneficial. One should be willing to give away one's possession to sacrifice them. If what is given was lent and simply not returned, or is given away with reluctance and heartache, this cannot be counted as charity. What one gives to people, animals, or other sentient beings should be beneficial to them. if one gives away poisonous substances to other people with the intention of harming them, it cannot be counted as charity. The true spirit of giving is to benefit others at the expense of oneself. It is no wonder that in the Mahayana teachings, which emphasize benefiting others, the merit earned through giving have such an important value.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, basically, just now, two paragraphs. The paragraph number one mentioned that, okay, once after the giving, we have the basic necessity. Then with the possession of the basic necessity, we can proceed to the supramandate dharma. Like now, you see, now because all of us, we have a basic necessity that we can start learning the dharma. Okay. Okay, once we talk about the giving, the first is the intention. Because two things, but you have to give in the willingness. Okay, number one, it must be willingness. Second, with a good intention, must be beneficial. Willingness means to say that it is a sacrifice, and you don't feel hurried, you don't feel sad. Class, if let's say you do the giving, or after you give out, you feel hurried. So meaning to say you are not ready yet. Please don't force yourself. Because everybody, we have our previous experience and the knowledge. So it makes us have a different perception how to handle our money. So if you, after giving, you feel very uncomfortable, meaning to say you're not ready yet. Okay. So you have to build up the perception. You have to learn more about the advantage of the giving and the disadvantage of storing. Then you'll be wailing. But of course, before you do the giving, you must have a good planning in the first place. Meaning to say that your retirement fund planning must be go ahead. It must be, you have to see it in a good development in your retirement planning. Don't just keep on do the dana, but your retirement planning is empty. Oh no, it is not encourageable. Must do in the wisdom. Okay. And don't compare yourself with others. Maybe somebody have a good planning, or they have excessive fund in their retirement plan. Then it's their turn to help people. It can happen in this way. So number one, make sure that you are willing to give. And second, must be beneficial. So meaning to say that if you do something without benefiting them, it's not a giving. Now we go to the next paragraph. Yes, Yongxin, can you please read it out? The motive.
The motives for and the recipients of giving can be divided into two categories. The first is compassion towards those without wives, husband, parents, or children, towards the disabled and the sick, towards victims of war and of disasters such as fire, floods, and storms, and even towards an old cow begging for life before being slaughtered. Giving with sympathetic compassion is similar to present-day philanthropic undertakings. The second is respect, caring for parents, providing for elders, making reverence offerings to the three treasures, and the like. Giving with respect also has the meaning of returning the kindness of others. These two categories of giving are different in terms of both the motives and the recipients. With regards to the levels of merits in giving, three differences need to be discussed: in attitudes, in fields, and in substances. Differences in attitudes have to do with whether one does something with deep compassion and respect, with slight compassion and respect, or with no compassion and respect. With such differences in attitude, even if the giving is the same, the merits will be vastly different. Differences in fields have to do with where one plants the good fortune of giving. For example, those who are poor or sick are considered the field of compassion, while parents and the three treasures are the field of respect. In the field of respect, providing for one's parent is superior to providing for others in general. Among the three treasures, offering made to a sage at the level of attaining the first fruits are not as excellent as those made to a sage at the level of attaining the second fruits, which in turn are not as excellent as those made to a sage at the level of attaining the third fruits. Offerings made to bodhisattvas are not as excellent as those offered to the Buddha. All the merit earned through giving to others being cannot be compared to the merit earned through giving to the Buddhas, because such a field of good fortune is superior to all others. In the field of compassion, differentiation is based on the degree to which the recipient deserves sympathy and help. For example, an unemployed young person without clothing and food is pitiable, but not as pitiable as the disabled, old, and weak. Differences in substances concern the things that are given. If the attitude and the field are the same, then the differences in the levels of merit will depend on the quantity of things given. Of the three categories, attitude is by far the most important according to the Buddha Dharma. Therefore, the merit of a poor person gift of a penny or a piece of fruits is not necessarily unequal to the merits of a rich person gift of $10,000 or $1 million.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, I remember in previous lesson, we all try to vote, like, right? Okay, if you compare, you do the giving to the disabled people and people without disabled, the beggar, the merit is the same or the different, okay? And if let's say you give something, both of them, $5, $10, it is equal or the different merit. Remember, you all vote, but with the different result, okay? Today, we will make it very clear. Basically, the merit is determined by three factors. Number one is the motive. Second is the target. The third is the substance. Number one is the motive. Plus, if let's say if you do the giving, basically it's based on compassionate and based on the respect. That is the best motive. Okay. Okay. If let's say we talk about the compassionate. Compassionate meaning to say that if you target to the disabled people, okay, the people is in the catastrophic, right? Like nowadays, okay, poor people try to raise up the white flag, so they are all considered, I mean, the real need people. So this is the target, and you do it is based on compassionate, all right? So this is the compassionate one. And besides this, now throughout the whole world, okay, we see so many catastrophic. For example, recently, I don't know why, I go to Facebook, I go to check regarding the Muslim, I mean the advertisement for the charity. I think the Facebook algorithm have calculated and conclude that I like them so much, so he keep on pump me with all the charity from the Muslim, you know. And also I was once I go to check WWF, you know. So after the advertisement to save the tiger, then it come again the advertisement to save the elephant. Again, the advertisement to save the lion. They keep on pumping me with this two information, you know. So I'll be very busy in saving the animal and also the Muslim in the Facebook, you see. So meaning to say that now, okay, all the, I mean, they're all considered the need. Okay, so number one is the target. Second is the respect. Respect basically, if your motivation, if the motive is the respect, basically it means your parents in your house, okay, our parents, they are the major target. And second is the triple gem. So we are considered the respect. I mean, if you do the dana out of respect, we will be the target. Okay. But the merit also will be different. For example, if you do the dana to the Bodhisattva and the Buddha, basically your merit offered to the Buddha will be greater than the Bodhisattva because Buddha level is higher. Okay. So in this level, because we are not great vehicle, it is, I mean, there's a determining factor, also it's calculable. So number one, and the third one is about the substance. So meaning to say that if let's say both disabled people, okay, you try to give. So if you give one is a $5, the second is a $10. So the $10 will accrue more merit compared with the $5. So the substance will be determined. I mean, it's the determining factor. If let's say your motive is the same and also both are similar target. So finally, the one who determine your merit will be the amount. Okay. So meaning to say that, if you compare these three class, you think which one is playing the most crucial role? Motive, the substance, the amount, and the target. Which one the most crucial role you think of? Amanda, which one you think is most crucial? Three of them, out of three of them, which one is most crucial, you think?
The motive.
Yes, correct. Proud to her. Very good. Yeah, the motive is so important. Meaning to say that, okay, if let's say some people they come to donate to the temple, okay, for example, two guys, one donate to the temple maybe $10. The second guy, he donate 1,000. We can hardly say that the one who donate 1,000 with a better merit. Why? Because maybe for those who donate $5 to the temple, $5 is their last meal maybe. Okay, or it's the last meal, meaning to say that without the sincerity, you wouldn't donate your last meal to the temple, right? But for those who donate $1,000, maybe they got so many $1,000. So $1,000 is nothing for them. So meaning to say that their motivation is not that strong, you see. So sometimes whatever people do the dana giving as a temple or as or as how to say, as a target. If you receive the giving, we can't differentiate. We can't say, oh, this is big, the amount bigger, they are more generous. We can't say so because we don't know what is their motive behind, and we don't know how is their situation of the wealth, you see. So the motive is the most important. Okay, but if let's say the motive is the same and the target is the same, so the substance will be crucial to determine which one merit is the greater. So nowadays I noticed that most of the cases they are the real. I mean the way we see. I think now our motive will be more on compassionate more than the respect, because most of them they are hunger, right? And number one, and because this is now is the epidemic era. So meaning to say the case appeared they are more genuine, and it's easily for us to come up with the right intention. Okay, so I think now is the best opportunity to do the giving. So class, you can plan for yourself. So now is a really good opportunity to do the giving, and you target the real need one people. Even though you just give a small amount, then number one, it can help you to have a to inculcate the habit of the giving, and you have a guarantee next slide. So next slide one, you will not worry for all the requisite. You can further learning the dharma and proceed to your daily life. Okay, so that is a few things regards the dharma. Any question regard this? Actually, I'm giving the lecture for 12 years in KL. I never really hardly can get the opportunity, which is so really fit. The theory for the dharma, very hard to make. Now is the best time. The theory of giving is so fit, the present situation. SJ, it is common in Singapore that people raise up the white flag to call for help. It happened to Singapore?
No.
Not that frequent, right? You see a class, meaning to say that in Singapore, most of the people, they are above moderate. You don't have opportunity because everybody, they still got so many rice. They keep so many rice. But in here, no, SJ, according to the statistic, Klang Valley, maybe 60% majority, they are still earn less than 3,000, and they are monthly play, Is my figure correct? Amanda Yongsit, is this correct? About 60%, right? Even higher than, the Klang Valley, still less than 3,000, and they cannot come up with a 1 month, 1 month of the salary for emergency use. Am I correct? Is my figure correct, class?
Not sure.
Not sure. I remember something like that. You see, meaning to say that here the opportunity to do the merit is greater compared with Singapore. Because Singapore, most of people are above moderate, right? They feel good. No people worry, no people raise up the white flag. Okay. So SJ, if you want to do dana, maybe you can check the Facebook, see Malaysia, the orphanage and the mental retard. Some centers start to raise the red flag, the white flag already.
Actually, I do frequently check, but because sometimes I'm not sure, because sometimes it's very hard to get to some organization. Because like last year I got checked to feed the homeless.
Yeah.
But the group is in Penang lah. I through the Facebook. It's like saying like the group is like feed the homeless in Penang Street.
Yeah.
But then when I try to like asking like how can I donate or anything, it's like no feedback at all.
Oh, no feedback. No worry. Now I got so many cases really in need, in desperate need. I will put inside to the group class. If you want to do, you can do. Because I also worry for being cheated. You see, so I make sure the case is from our Erdi student. So because since our Erdi student, they really go to hit to the target. They go really visit to the center, so we know this is a real one. I will put inside to the group. Okay, the reliable one. So you just help because the reservoir already empty already. Now it's just waiting for the help because 1 year is too long. So all the fund has been exhausted out already. Basically, they raise fund once a year. Now 1 year already. The pandemic, you see, 1 year already. Okay, that's the thing. Okay. Okay, next, let's take a look. So you know this. Okay, now we go to the number 47. Okay, Yes. Okay. Sally, can you please write it out? One should give in a proper way.
One should give in a proper way and not from social pressure, from fear, or from indebtedness. One should not expect rewards or merely follow family tradition, nor should one ask for divine good fortune or for faith. The differences in the level of merit in giving are dependent on the motive, the recipients, and the substances. Therefore, one should avoid giving impurely and ignobly. What are pure, ignoble, and improper instances of giving? Briefly, there are seven categories of don'ts. Don't give under pressure. One may not want to give automatically because someone comes to the door and begs for alms. One may feel awkward about refusing and give reluctantly with heartache. Do not give from fear. If one discovers one's wealth, authority, or life is in danger of being lost, then one should give. One may give out of fear of losing everything. One hopes thereby to obtain merit and be rewarded with the elimination of calamities, or to prolong one's life and turn bad luck into good fortune in this present life. This type of giving is common among devotees. Do not give from indebtedness. Because one has obtained benefits from others, one may offer to return such kindness. This cannot be counted as planting good fortune. It is merely repaying a debt. Some people, when they encounter unfavorable conditions, make a vow to the God and the Buddhas. When the conditions improve, they give in return for the favor granted to them. This repayment does not meet the proper standard of giving. Do not give expecting a reward. Sometimes one gives because one wants to be rewarded by others. One may want other people's help or even expect them to sacrifice their life. In such a case, one always gives impressive gifts to, to that people will be glad to do what one wants.
Okay, thank you
Do
so
not
much. Yeah, please, Yokwa, can you please continue to read the rest? Yokwa, please.
Do not give money to follow family traditions. Sometimes one does not have the desire to give, but does so only because of family traditions. Because one's parents, out of habit, give annually to the three treasures or charitable organizations. One may merely follows this habit routinely. Don't give as a way to ask for divine good fortune. Such giving is done only to please the divine spirits and get their blessings in the hope of being born in the heavenly kingdoms. Don't give for the sake of fame. Some people give because they want to be famous. For the sake of honors, these people give generously in front of a big crowd. Of course, there is greater and lesser merits for all of these kinds of giving, but they are far from the true giving that is in accord with the Buddha Dharma. One should give properly with deep compassion and respect.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, just now we mentioned the proper giving. Now we talk about the improper giving. Improper giving sometimes is still necessary nowadays because not many people will really understand the meaning of the giving. Why? Remember in the previous lesson, I asked you to vote for a few questions. Well, we don't come up with a unanimous agreement. Meaning to say that you have to attend to the Dharma class in order to have a proper giving. So what is the improper giving, which is so common? I think number one, you are asking for the reward. You see or not? Basically, our mother, grandmother, once they go to the temple, they will bring some fruit and bring some offering, and then they say, okay, so this is the offering for you, God. But in return, please make sure that our family member all are getting healthy. Am I right? Well, this is very common and it's still necessary because most of the uneducated folk, they really need this as a purpose to come to the temple. So number one. Then second, sometimes the offering also is because of indebtedness. Why? Because people come for you, because people come for you. You see, especially it happens for the dinner welfare. You see, in the dinner welfare, I buy from you 10 coupon. So next time you buy me back 10 coupon. You see, so meaning to say that this is not a really giving, this is exchange only, right? So this is a second, this is also quite common, especially, I mean, this type of the dinner welfare, all this is very common within our organization, and you are not, you are reluctant to say no, because they help you before, now you have to help back. So it's not a true giving, because why? We are abide by the condition. The third one is the routine. Routine also quite common in Buddhism. Like our grandmother, they prefer come to the temple. Oh, now it's a 7 month. Every year, actually, I come one. I want to do the Qiu. So this is something like a routine. And even though you try to educate them, they also don't understand. But they feel happier to come and give you the money. So you see, it's quite hard for us to reject, you see, because you still need the fund and the target, they are not highly educated. So basically they come, we just tell them, just try to maybe inculcate a little bit Dharma for them. If let's say you stop all this activity, they will never appear in the temple, you totally don't have opportunity to educate them. You see or not, class? So sometimes this type of improper giving is still necessary. I mean, in the temple, in the organization. Okay, so some they do the giving is due to the fear. They worry for losing something. So this is not a proper giving. Sometimes, especially you have been threatened to do the giving, so that you even lost something. Okay, then the next, maybe we got a baby kids. So we tell the kids, yes, this is the money, just put inside to the donation box, so the kids just follow me. Well, the kids doesn't know anything, so you just follow what you do. Of course, this is also improper giving, but it's still necessary. Because if quite hard to really to make people have a proper giving, because education is still necessary to inculcate the habits. You see. So let's check. Okay, this is the donor. Number one is under pressure, very awkward refusing. We mentioned already. One is regarding to the fear. So you see, this is very common among the devotee to eliminate the calamities. I think now, possible. I think many people go to temple, right? Because they are frightened from the COVID-19. Possible. I think now people a lot they will flock into the temple if possible. They say, oh, hopefully the God can help me to bless me to avoid from being contraction of the virus. You see, it could be like that. Then besides this is turn the bad luck become the good luck. So this is the debt we used to do So and one more is regarding to the family tradition. Yeah, some family tradition they have habits to do the giving. Of course, as the NGO, they will welcome for every kind of the giving. They cannot reject because they really need the fund. Especially if you run the old folk house, the orphanage house, or maybe you run some rehabilitation center for stroke or what, or kidney dialysis. Oh, no matter how much money come, all will be exhaust out. So they really need the fund badly. So basically, they're quite hard for them to, to bother. Is this a proper giving or not proper giving? Basically, they won't bother. As long as you give, they will need it. But of course, if let's say the people who come with the improper living, we have to really think for that. Okay. For example, if one day a hunter come, he said, okay, a hunter come to do the giving to your temple. Yes, okay, okay, Mr. Leong, okay, if you are the organizer, okay, you are the president of the temple, okay, a hunter come to do the giving, are you going to accept it or not, Mr. Leong? Mr. Leong, I think your Wi-Fi is quite bad, okay? You just off the camera and answer it, Mr. Leong. Yeah, you are unfrozen already. Yes, Yokwa, how do you respond? Will you accept on behalf of the organization or not? Yokwa?
I think I will accept because he also needs the chances to do some giving and to build up his merit. If we reject, then he have no more chance to do good things.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Anybody agree? Please put up your hand. Agree, Yokwa statement? You agree? Okay. Okay, Yokwa, if let's say the hunter feel happy giving us, so he said, okay, next time I will try to hunt more elephant and tiger and get the fun for you. If that's the case, we accept it or not?
No, of course, with a good motive. Just now we mentioned a good motive. Maybe he can change the one. He can build us the good chances to learn how to do giving.
I know. Okay, no, the first case, because we don't know this, the hunter doesn't know it is not right. So we give them the opportunity to do the giving. Okay, now the hunter feel that, okay, if that's the case, I feel happy in giving. So I will hunt more animal and tiger and elephant and the bull so that I can accumulate the fund for your temple. We accept if that's the case. They purposely go to kill.
No, reject.
Reject. Yes, that's correct. So meaning to say it depends. If let's say they purposely do all this thing and accumulate the fund for you, please reject it. Say no. But maybe the first time he doesn't know, he is ignorant. The first giving we have to accept just to give the opportunity for whatever business. Okay, class, do you get it? Or whatever is the same theory apply here. Yeah, Amanda, any question? Yes.
So like some of the Hock See way, right? They have this money.
Some of what?
Some of the illegal one,
yeah.
And usually this kind of uncle, they're very rich and they're very generous and they want to give giving. In your view, should we accept in that case when we know he actually get this money from illegal way?
The answer is there already. If let's say they come to do the giving, you mean you as an NGO, right? Or as a temple, right? It's the same. If they come to giving, they say they don't know. Okay, so we have to accept it as an opportunity. Okay, or maybe, okay, for example, you go to invest, maybe invest some share or some equity and he earn a lot. But we notice that maybe his business, the portfolio, 90% is the gambling. Okay, it is not legal activity, right? Even though it is considered legal. It is considered legal, but not that rightful in Buddhism. Maybe in the beginning we accept as an opportunity. But if let's say he doesn't change, he insists, oh no, I won't change. This is the gambling and the liquor is my major income. I really depends on it. So for the next giving, he doesn't have any intention to change. So we should reject it. If that's the case, check the portfolio. Yeah, some people I know that they're very rich. They want to do the good things for their mother, right? Some they will establish maybe the franchise for the vegetarian restaurant. Some they will do that. Okay, we appreciate this. But if they don't aiming for change, they just want to keep on all the illegal activity. Meaning to say there's a plus and minus only, right or not? You keep on do the illegal activity, people based on the illegal activity commit the crime, and then at the same time you do the giving. So it's a plus and minus only. So they must have intention to change. They will be fine. So we can't. It's quite hard for us to have 100% clean money. Quite hard. Okay, so
Yeah.
sometimes the thing mixed up, never mind. So we just take it, something like that. Am I answering your question? Get it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so this is about the livelihood. Okay, then come it's for the sake of the fame. Yes, sometimes people they prefer to show off the generosity in front of the public, you know. And also sometimes the people will manipulate it, not really manipulate, because if let's say you have a tender, all right, you see most of the people will run the tender, during the dinner, right? Why? Because because this is the opportunity to let them fight with each other, to bid for the higher price, you see. As an organizer, you want to get the higher price of the money. You want to get better income, you see. But for them, they will feel also very shocked. 3,000, then 5,000, and 9,000, oh, I get it. And so I feel very proud, you see. So sometimes if you say no for this, it's quite hard for you to raise the fund also. The way I see it, basically why people prefer this, because everybody happy. You get a good income, but they also happy. But we have to know that this is not a very rightful one. We have to know that, especially organizer, if you take the opportunity to make the profit, well, maybe once it's okay, but don't make it habitual. And same as the donor, you feel very proud in front of the public. But if you make it as a habit, this type of the merit in the next life is not a very good karma actually. The quality is not that good. Just like a durian, some is a Musang King durian, some is a local durian. You will end up we get all the local durian merit, you know. Why, if that's the case, why we don't do we should try to do the proper giving, so that the next life we get a Musang King reward. That is the best reward. You know what I mean? So I know sometimes we hardly to say no, this no, that no, quite hard to say, but don't make it habitual. And you have to know which one is the right one, is the wrong one. Even though you have to, but you know this is not the good one. At least you must know that. Okay, class. Then okay, it's for the sake of the fame, well, anyway, if let's say people come to do the donation, they say, okay, I donate the whole hall, but please name after with my name. Okay. Yes, Yongxin, will you name after the donor name just because you really need the fund? Will you do that, Yongxin?
Depends. If I really need the fund for the intention of helping the more needy one, then I think I will do it.
Okay. Well, can I ask you a question? If let's say this is the hall, okay, yeah, Yongxin Hall, does it really matter or not? If they call the name Yongxin Hall because Yongxin donate the whole hall for $1 million, does it really matter for you? Who said doesn't matter what? We really need the hall. It doesn't matter what, call it Yongxin Hall, what hall? You see or not? Most people feel okay, you see or not? Actually, it happened, you know. Now, do you know Gu Tinlok? Do you know the actor Gu Tinlok? Just yesterday news, you know, he donated, I think about 100 schools in China, you know, but some schools have been abandoned and isolated, you know. Why? They go to research, they notice that in the very beginning, the school is really in bad need. Why? Because at that time, 10 years ago, not many schools there. Now, there are more good, more better school appeared, you see. So people go to the better school. So the donation from the Gu Tinlok, no people want it, you know. You see so many, the wet grass, so many grass appearing there, you see. So, so meaning to say that is what? Meaning to say, even though you do the donation, you should diversify your portfolio like you do the investment. Because not all investment you can really gain, right? Like same, you do the donation, not every aspect you can really, get a very good response and persistently. So diversify your investment or diversify your donation. That is the best strategy. So later on, SJ, I will send you a few people for you to do donation. So there are maybe some that really make good fun, make good use with your funds. Some might not make good use, but you still get something. Agree? You should diversify it. Even though do the dana is more wise, you diversify it. Okay, so you see, but of course, this is the greater and less merit, and far from the true giving. Okay, so class, I give you a little bit time. You go check one by one. This one is the seven don'ts. See which one you do more. Okay, which one you do? You used to occur. It happened to you. Just try to review for yourself. So after the review, please raise hand with Zoom. Okay, so more than half people finish. So we go further. Let's take a look. So the fortunate karma of the ethic. So we go to the karma of the ethic. Yes, okay. Who haven't read yet lah? Who haven't read the passage yet? Amanda, yeah, please your turn, please, Amanda. The fortunate karma of ethic.
In order to control oneself for the benefits of others, one has to be determined and patient in keeping the pure precepts. Giving primarily, sacrificing one's external belongings in order to benefit sentient beings, is a valuable and virtuous conduct, but it is not the most precious. The objectives of the Buddha Dharma are to avoid evil and do good, so that one may have a pure mind. Keeping the precepts is therefore superior to giving material goods. Precepts for virtuous conduct come from controlling one's selfish desires in order to enhance harmony, happiness, and the growth of good in the world. That is, from controlling oneself to benefit others. This can be explained in the following way. Keeping the precept of not stealing does not just mean for today or tomorrow, or just not from the Zhangs or the Wangs. It means that from now on, one will not steal the belongings of anyone, any sentient being. Therefore, to keep the precept of not stealing means that one gives a secure guarantee that one will not violate or harm the body or belongings of any human or any sentient being. Likewise, to not engage in a proper sexual conduct means that from now on, one will not seduce or use force to destroy another person's chastity or family harmony for the gratification of one's selfish desires. This precept is to be applied toward all members of the opposite sex and is not just limited to certain people. For these reasons, the Buddha has praised the 5 precepts as 5 great gifts. The kind of merit obtained from benefiting others through keeping the precepts is greater than that obtained from the common act of giving material goods, and it has greater value.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, now from the giving, we shift to the precept. Okay, well, basically, if you compare the precept with the giving, precept, the value is even greater. Why? Because you see a class, once you promise to say no stealing, it means what? It means negatively you are not stealing, but in a positive manner, you do the dana, you do the giving, you see. And the promise are not from now only, is until to the future. And the target that you promise us, not ABC, is everybody, you see, including the invisible being, you see or not. So meaning to say that if you do the giving, let's say I give Amanda, you see, just a moment, and I target you, Amanda, you see, I give you one thing, you see. So once, Amanda, you get the thing, finish already. No more story, you see. But if you promise to no stealing, meaning to say that the promise, we can see that the influence is in a more greater aspect, and many people will be benefit, and many invisible living beings, and the time frame even longer, you see. So this is the reason why, second, we talk about is the precept. And the precept, it seems that the merit is even greater than the giving. But of course, now we are not denying the giving. You still have to do the giving. But after once you develop the giving habit, you should proceed to the precept. So that's the reason why we tell you the disadvantage of the giving and the advantage of the precept, so that you will do further. So class, never skip the giving. You have to do the giving first. Once you do the giving very good, mature, then you should further with the precept. That will be correct. Why? Because the merit even greater. Because why people hold the precept is mostly is based on the compassionate. You don't want to harm the people, so you observe the precept. That is the key point. Okay. And if let's say you do the giving, but you cannot control emotion, have you ever noticed that some people they are building, but at the same time they're destroying. They do the giving, but they're very bad temper. After the giving, then they mock. They will just have a mocking statement to the people. Then they will have a sarcastic remark. So some people they don't. If let's say you do the giving in this manner, people they wouldn't accept it. Is this correct? So this is the reason why the precept is very important. If you want to have a good giving, you must have a good 5 precepts in order to support your giving, make your giving can accrue more merit. Okay, but if let's say you don't have money to do the giving, but you can hold the 5 precepts very well, yes, it could be the substitution. Then how is in our next class. Okay, so I'm going to stop here today a little bit early because I got something to do. So let's start to transfer the merit.